Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Totally Unacceptable, the podcast where we shine a light on the aspects of leadership and corporate culture that should be considered unacceptable. But we also, and maybe more importantly, talk about how to get it right. I'm your host, Ed Clementi. As we get closer to the end of the year, many of you might be feeling like you're ready to make the next big leap. Whether it's in your career, personal development, leadership, what have you. But I also know that some of you may be feeling stuck, lacking direction, or simply not getting the coaching or guidance you need from your manager or leader. Now, I'm going to get this out of the way right now and say that I find this kind of leadership approach unacceptable. I think that if you're in a position of leadership, it's your job, and perhaps your most important job, to inspire and coach your team to new heights for the benefit of everyone involved. But today, that's all I'm going to say about what's unacceptable. Today's episode will be fully dedicated to providing you with the leadership advice you might not be getting. Today, I am your coach. This week, it felt like no matter where I was, the car, the store, or even watching the Mets game, one particular song kept playing. It was the song My Way by Frank Sinatra. After what seemed like the 10th time I heard it, and it reminded me of my dad playing his music, I decided to really listen to the lyrics. After doing this a couple times, the song became the inspiration for my latest newsletter article, which I hope you're all taking advantage of and reading. The song, it's all about owning your choices, embracing both your victories and your regrets, and living life unapologetically on your own terms. And that got me thinking, this ties perfectly into what we're going to talk about today. We're talking about the importance of taking control and setting yourself up for your best year yet. It's about living your way, not waiting around for anyone else to make things happen for you. I get into this in much more depth with great inspiration in the article, so I'm not going to spoil it here. Go check it out. The link will be in the description of the episode. All right, so it's October. And as we look ahead to 2025, I want to help you start living your way with purpose, intention, and boldness, living in a way that you can be proud of. That's why I put together 10 specific things you can begin working on today to make sure 2025 is your best year yet. If you can, grab a pen and paper and write these down. If you can't, then listen back later and make sure you're ready to take notes. All right, let's get into it. Number 1, audit your year. Take the time to reflect on 2024. We're always so quick to move on to the next thing, but growth happens when we really take the time to understand what worked and what didn't work. But don't just focus on the wins, focus on the losses too. Look at those too. What were the key factors behind both? Understanding the why behind these experiences will give you the insight to make better decisions moving forward. All right, actionable tip. Write down 3 wins and 3 setbacks from 2024. Analyze the why behind each one. What can you replicate and what needs to change? Number 2, spot your sticking points. We all have them. These are the things that keep us from moving forward. It could be fear, it could be confidence, lack of direction, maybe it's your environment. Identifying these barriers is critical because you can't fix what you don't acknowledge. Clarity on these obstacles is the first step towards breaking through them. Actionable tip. Pinpoint the biggest factor you believe held you back in 2024. Was it your own mindset? Was it an external force? Maybe it was your skills. Then write down one specific action you can take to address this factor in 2025. Number 3, find your purpose. Let's face it, when things get tough, it's purpose that pulls you through. Purpose, it's more than your job title, it's more than your career, it's what drives you at your core. Knowing your why gives you the fuel you need to stay the course when challenges arise. Without it, you're going to drift. But when you're clear on your purpose, you can be unstoppable. Find your purpose. Actionable tip. Reconnect with your why. Reflect on what motivates you, not just at work, but in life. How does that purpose show up in your daily decisions? Number 4, invest in skills, not just tasks. One of the biggest traps we fall into is getting consumed by daily tasks. Checking off a to-do list, it might feel productive, but it doesn't always translate to long-term growth. You need to focus on building the key skills that will carry you forward. Things like leadership, strategic thinking, an ability to simplify, communication, and influence. These are the skills that will make you indispensable no matter what tasks come your way. Actionable tip. Identify one high-level skill that will make the biggest difference in your career and start developing it. Perhaps it's leadership, wink, wink. Speaking of leadership, that's number 5. Find your leadership voice. Leadership, it's not about having a title. It's about impact. And you don't have to wait for permission to be a leader. Find your leadership voice now. This means stepping up, taking initiative, and being the person others look to for guidance. When you own your space, you show people you're ready to lead, no matter your position. Actionable tip. Identify one situation where you can take the lead in the next month. Whether it's a project, a meeting, or even in your personal life, start leading by example. Number 6, and this is a biggie, surround yourself with the right people. Your environment plays a key factor in everything you do, and that includes the people you surround yourself with. Are the people in your circle challenging you, pushing you to be better, or are they keeping you comfortable? Or even worse, are they bringing you down? You need to be around the people who inspire you to grow, who offer fresh perspectives, and who push you out of your comfort zone. Actionable tip. Identify someone in your network who challenges you or inspires you. Set up time with them to connect before the year ends. If your circle isn't pushing you, you need to expand it. Which brings me to number 7, build your network. Now, I know for some of you this might be difficult because it's easy to get yourself in the mindset that you can do this all on your own. You don't want to be someone who asks for favors. You don't want to come across as a schmoozer. I totally get that. But again, this just needs a mindset shift. Think about connecting with others simply to seek fresh perspectives and to see how you might be of help to them instead of the other way around. Soon, you're going to look up and you'll be a better person for it, and you might just have made some meaningful connections that could be of mutual benefit. The fact of the matter is that relationships matter. And good people generally want to help each other when the opportunities arise. Think about it. Don't you want to help someone that you come to like if you could? Of course you do. Actionable tip. Make it a goal to meet one new person in your industry each month in 2025. Hell, start now. Do it in October, November, December. Start by reaching out to someone you admire or attend some virtual or in-person network event. But get networking. Meet new people. Expand your perspectives. Help if you can. Number 8, set bold, clear goals for 2025. Do not wait until January to set your goals. Start now. Make sure they're bold, clear, and exciting. I'm doing this in October because I want you to get started now. Get ahead of the game. The best goals are the ones that push you beyond your comfort zone and make you a little nervous, because those are the goals that create real growth. Break them down into actionable steps and start moving towards them now. Actionable tips: set one big, bold goal for 25 and break it down into smaller steps and start acting today. The earlier you start, the more momentum you're going to have when the new year begins. Get ahead of all those people who start after New Year's. Number 9, hold yourself accountable. Accountability is everything. It's easy to just set goals, but sticking to them is where most people falter. Find someone who can hold you accountable, whether it's a mentor, a coach, a peer. It's not about being perfect. It's about staying focused and on track, even when things get tough. Here's your actionable tip. Choose one person who can be your accountability partner for 25. Set regular check-ins with them and make sure you're staying on track with your goals. Number 10, invest in yourself. Never stop investing in yourself. The most successful people are the ones who are constantly looking for ways to grow. They read, they take courses, they get coached, they expand their networks. This is how you stay ahead of the curve and continue evolving. Here's your tip. Pick one way you can invest in yourself before the end of 2024 and make the commitment. Here's a bonus. Start building your own brand. Don't wait for opportunities to come to you. Create them by building your brand, your personal brand, whether you're an entrepreneur or working in an organization. Now, I know if you're in an organization, there are policies and procedures that you have to stay within, so please make sure you're doing that. But if you can, start building your personal brand. When you do this, you're positioning yourself as an expert in your field, and it opens doors to new opportunities. Actionable tip: create one piece of content this week that showcases your expertise, showcases you as a thought leader in your space. It could be a blog post, it could be a LinkedIn article, a video, but start building your brand now and become known for you with your name and your brand. Build that. So there you have it, 10 actionable tips that you can take today to get you well on your way to making 2025 the best year yet. I share this advice with you from experience. I've lived it. I know what it's like to feel stuck, and I've had to find my way out more than once. I'm going to bring this episode to a close with a short parable. It illustrates the importance of being there for others in a meaningful way, not a superficial way, a meaningful way. It's called The Man in the Pit. A man falls into a pit and he can't get out. Several people walk by and they see him struggling. First, a doctor walks by and he writes a prescription for him saying, "Here, take this. It'll ease your pain." Then a priest walks by and offers a prayer saying, "I'll pray for you, my son." Next, a lawyer walks by and offers legal advice saying, "You should file a lawsuit against whoever dug this pit." Then a businessman walks by and tells him, "Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Just work harder and you'll get out." And finally, a friend walks by, sees him in the pit, and jumps in the pit. The man says, "Why did you jump in? Now we're both stuck." The friend replies, "I've been down here before, and I know the way out." The time to act is now, not January. Start today. The work you do now in October will define how you enter 25. Don't wait for the new year to roll around. Make the changes right now. Every small step you take today will build momentum. So when January 1st hits, you're already ahead of the game. If you feel like you need some guidance, I'm right here. Like the parable said, I know the way out. I'm ready to help. Let's make 2025 the year you take control, level up, and achieve greatness. Thanks for tuning in today. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who might need a little push to get ready for 2025. And don't forget to connect with me on LinkedIn, where I share leadership advice and inspiration regularly. This is your time. Don't wait for permission. Let's make it happen. I'm Ed Clementi, and I'll see you next time on Totally Unacceptable.